Hello and welcome to this, my review of the new Hexbug BattleBots Rivals 5.0 pack. It's Duck and Rotator, and you can see them here in the box. 5 years of excellent toys coming from Hexbug to represent BattleBots, and they have all been absolutely fantastic. I can't wait to get this box open, so without further ado, let's look at the box itself. We have the Hexbug logo at the top left, battle strategy kit for ages 8+, and there's 12+ pieces, good lord. You can see Hexbug Rivals written here as well. Underneath the two remote controls, you can see it says Duck at the bottom of this one and Rotator at the bottom of this one. Also, on the side of the box, we have pictures of the robots, Rotator on that side, Duck on this, and flipping it round to the back of the box, you can see a rundown of these two robots, what they're all about. And you can also see other items available in the range, as well as a diagram of how the remote controls work, and we will get onto the remote controls very shortly. Otherwise, there's very little else to say about the box other than goody goody, let's open it up. So the first robot out of the packaging is Duck from the 2019 season of BattleBots. Now, Duck is getting a full redesign, so I thought its future in this line was a bit risky, but thanks to COVID-19, it means that we get this awesome robot. Now, I said in a video that the panels that should be removed are the top piece, as you're seeing here, and the back wheels, as you're also seeing here. Still bragging the fact that I managed to predict that correctly, and it's very clever how they've done the back wheels, so they're magnets that also roll, and I absolutely love that. It's very good, very, very clever, and yeah, massive kudos to them. I also need to show you the massively over-engineered insides. There are so many gears in here operating different things. Good lord, how they've managed to stuff this amount of technology into the robot, I will never know. The control board itself is actually quite small in comparison. The wires sort of draped across everything. It is just a testament to how well they've managed to do that. The second robot in this pack is, of course, Rotator, and I can absolutely see why they've gone for it. The Tombstone beta of the 2019 series, and a very well done to them. You can see the big, massive wheels on either side means that this robot is invertible. The removable panels are as follows. The top panel, which is magnetic, which is excellent to see. You've also got the front piece and the back piece as well, which just clip on. These two do seem to fall off the most. You can see on the inside that there is a belt that operates both weapons simultaneously. They both run off of the same weapon motor, which has its pros and cons. It means that one stops, they both stop, but it also means that two weapons spin, and I'm absolutely fine with that. It's a toy, deal with it. Very, very cool Rotator. I'm just popping these panels back on. Very easy to do, very simple, but very effective. I'm really looking forward to getting these two in action, but before we do that, there is one more thing we need to look at. The remote controls, of course, feature the usual things. We have the slider that controls the 4 channels, the forwards, backwards, left and right motion, but we also now have 2 weapon buttons, which we've not seen outside of the Robot Wars Matilda toy that we saw last year or the year before, I forget which one it was. Taking a look at Duck, because this is the robot it is built for, the 2 controls do different things. So the one on the right lifts the weapon over like so, the one on the left brings it back down. Very simple, very effective, and I quite like this operation. When it comes to the remote for Rotator, the weapon buttons both operate, and you can press just one to operate it. You can turn it on and off using each, or you can use both. It really doesn't matter. One more thing to say about Rotator is that you can remove the discs, which is pretty cool because you can customize it to be any format you like. 2 discs, 1 disc on the bottom, 1 disc on the top. It means that you can replicate the modular abilities of the real Rotator, which I think is a really fun play feature. Duck operates like all the others. It can turn left and right, move forwards and backwards. I feel like I should also apologise. This is a very small area for Duck to try and drive round in. It doesn't show off its speed in any way, shape or form, but this is a very quick robot. It's also a very horrible surface to try and drive on. It's made of sort of felt, which means it gets stuck every now and again. But anyway, all of that aside, this is a really fun thing to drive. It is front wheel drive only, obviously because the back ones come off. And it can only lift this far, but it can do a special move, and if you watch the Hexbug video, I'm sure you're aware it's called I hope your ears are okay now. That's enough of that. Rotator, as you can see, operates with both discs spinning simultaneously, as I said previously. Now, this thing is apparently more difficult to drive. I don't know, because I don't have a good enough area to test it out at the minute. Again, apologies for this small size box. It's all I had to bring with me, but it will do for now. Here is a demonstration that if you stop one of the discs, both stop. There is a little bit of a delay, obviously, because you've got retention in the belt that spins both. But there we are, a poor driving test for that one. Doing a quick size comparison with all the other toys. Yes, I brought them all on holiday with me, deal with it. You can see all of the robots bar the original Witch Doctor, because I just didn't put it out for some reason, but they are all a reasonably good size, and Duck and Rotator fit nicely. Anyway, that's enough chit-chat about these two robots. Let's see them in action. Rotator was an immediate issue to drive. I think that's more down to the surface it was trying to drive on than the robot's full potential, because I think on a less glossy surface, Rotator would do a lot better. Unfortunately, this means that Tombstone rather dominated this fight, and yeah, that really shows in the video. The main issue, as one would expect with an undercutter, is that the spinner is touching the floor and thus turning the robot. And with the grip of the wheels not really having an effect, the spinner was the thing dictating which way Rotator was pointing. I had very little control. Happily, Duck is much easier to control and much quicker as well. As some people have said in previous reviews, it can't really lift all that much unless you get a good snag, in which case go for the Ducknado, because it's a lot of fun, but ultimately doesn't work. Going back to that whole gripping thing though, if you can get a hold, you can really get a hold and manoeuvre robots anywhere you like in the arena, and that is a lot of fun. I thought I would test out its axe capabilities, as the original Duck was meant to be able to be like that as well. It did not work. So I went back to the original tactic of picking up Tombstone and putting it wherever I wanted in the arena, lifting it onto the back of Duck and, driving it around a bit. A lot of fun had. Armor panels were able to be removed using the beak. Yeah, Duck is a lot of fun to drive. You just need to make sure that that beak is far enough off the ground so that you can actually drive forwards. That is an issue to watch out for. And that's about all I have to say on this, other than a massive thank you to Charlie Hubbard of Good Robottle fame for sending these across to me. He sourced them at a local Target store in the US and shipped them over to me. I'm paid for everything, of course. People need to be paid to buy the things if you want them yourselves. Basically, pay for things, don't steal them. Yes, good. Right, well that's all for this time. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, give it a like. Do subscribe to the channel if you are new, and check out a little playlist I've put together of all the other Hexbug toys that I have reviewed, because by God, we've had 5 years of Hexbug toys and we have been absolutely spoiled. Thanks for watching, and I shall see you again in the future.